Hello and welcome back everybody to episode 17 of Let's Dev. This is Adam of ACG on itch.io, and we're going to jump right back in. Feeling pretty happy today with the way everything has been coming together with that forest racetrack, and we're going to keep kind of charging ahead on that project, maybe get another level. I sort of got the one that we started in the last video blocked out last night. I had planned to jump back on. Oh gosh. Always after I eat, get this frog in my throat. Um, I had planned to hop back on last night, but I got to chatting with my wife and working on the project and just kind of didn't get back around to it. So I figured I'd hop on today, maybe try and get 2 videos done so I can document a little bit more about what's been going on with the process. And we're going to need another tree bark. Actually, I guess this was all stuff I probably did with the camera off last night. This is the tree bark texture that I made. Went out to the park and got some photos again. Um, and made this texture last night for the root systems. And it turned out pretty well. I put it in the game, and then I thought, okay, this is good. Uh, Made a normal map. I don't think we'll need a normal map for this one because most of the time the tree trunk that I'm going to put these on is going to be outside of the actual racetrack and just kind of there as window dressing so it doesn't look like roots that don't connect into anything, but there's some kind of a tree trunk that the roots can kind of collect up into and kind of give it more of a, I guess, just a reason for being there, not just floating roots to be an obstacle, but like, oh, we're in this forest of giant trees that are way larger. Um, Way larger than earth trees, any normal earth trees would be. Well, let's go ahead and get right to it. Go ahead and shrink that down. So I want as much of the information as I can get from the picture, but I don't want any side to be larger than 1K texture, 1024. Well, I guess that's horizontally centered, and that's all that really matters for right now, because it's going to make a big stink when I do this, but at the end of the day, it actually doesn't. Some clipping, and the image will just still be there outside of the bounds. Oops. Whatever will I do? I want a little bit more of this moss. It's rainforest, I figure. I mean, I don't live in an actual rainforest, but it's a type of rainforest. I live in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know if this qualifies as a rainforest tree, but it's mossy. It gets rained on a lot, so. And it's an alien rainforest, so, you know, who's to say? Who's to say what the rules are? That's why I like to do sci-fi stuff, because I can always justify my decisions by just saying, Yeah, it's sci-fi. You just gotta believe. You gotta be a true believer. Just like the other time, I'm gonna just try and get this so it tiles up. Oops. Uh, Tiles up nicely and doesn't have any real obvious seams. I actually think this one's gonna work pretty well. You can already see where some of this could be blended together and sort of like this indention in the bark. Uh, some of these are already kind of lined up pretty much the way I'm going to want them. I'm going to go ahead and start with that patch tool first. And just try and get this seam kind of edited out of there. And the moss actually makes it kind of easy because it kind of hides the real hard, distinctive lines of the tree bark. And it'll also, help with the world building of this rain planet. In my mind, it helps with that. Um, just use the spot healing brush a little bit here to kind of draw in any place where it looks like it doesn't quite match up. Although really, I'm already pretty happy with just the way that looks right out of the bat, right after the patch tool, I guess. Normally, you got to do a little bit of repair work with that patch tool, but well, let me look just a little bit longer because it'll be easier to fix anything now. And again, this will all be outside of the map. I really am. I'm probably overthinking it right now, but never hurts to be thorough. And double check things. I joked the other day about going real NPR with it and just slurping coffee and eating chips into the microphone. I feel like I'm doing that with my harumphs today. I think for this one, I'm gonna try and bring in some extra. I want more of that moss. I'm gonna kind of select on this side. Actually, I think I want to go this direction. Kind of put a little bit of variance into that line. You know, actually, I don't want it to be quite that wide, though. Let's just do a little bit. And we can work our way out if we need to. This way I can really get that mossy. You know? Already not looking half bad. I like it when it just kind of comes together like that. Let's do maybe a little bit of spot healing here. Spot healing tool. Just kind of the content aware fill in tool, kind of build in some of the areas that we need there. This groove in the bark, for some reason, to me, I keep thinking that's a photo editing seam, like a noticeable area where the photo has been edited, but that's actually part of the, you can kind of see here's the line of where the patch came in, and that's actually just a natural line in the bark. It's just the way it formed. Kind of interesting, kind of cool. And let's see, I want to get this, I actually see a noticeable little spot right here. Maybe do that instead. And let's see, where is that? Or is that seam the most noticeable? I see a little bit here. And a little bit up here. There we go. I think that'll be pretty good. Go ahead and export this as a PNG. Eh, why not? It'll be easy to remember. You know, I don't even have any layers. I'm not even going to bother with saving that. I can just edit the PNG later. And honestly, I don't want to get too detailed. Too detailed with this. But I am going to just kind of try and make a quick tree trunk. Oops, wrong tool anyway. And this is kind of the weird design that I've decided in my mental headcanon that this particular planet's trees are going to have is that they have this kind of zigzaggy shape to them. Smooth all of this out just a little bit here, maybe. And there we go. We'll say that's all right for now. I'm trying to think too. I think I'm gonna bring these in with simple, um, simplified colliders generated for them, because although I don't know, I should probably, because of the shape. You know what? I'm just gonna have them be window dressing. I'm just not gonna use them in the map. I've got the roots. They honestly make a pretty convincing looking natural structure when you get a few of them duplicated around and rotated and kind of put them all together. I can always make another simpler tree trunk if I need them in the map. So for this one, I'm going to just keep it to what I had originally thought. Make that into a curve. And there we go. And we will just How do I want to do this? Oh, okay. That's not too bad. Just fill in the bottom there at the end. Yeah, okay. That works for me. You know, that might be about all that I'm really going to want to do with this as a curve. Let's see. Let's see how it turns out. Well, that's alright. It's not even that dense of a mesh. Let's get this out of here. Just close this up. Try and even that out a little bit. And let's go ahead and have a look at how that new tree bark texture will look on there. I mean, already not too bad, but we definitely need to, at least I suspect it won't look too bad. Oops, wait, hold on. There we go. If I remember correctly, we definitely want to turn this and make it way bigger. For this texture, I'm feeling like we probably want to go ahead and widen this out by, I guess, just 2, because that should still tile pretty evenly. And we'll just have those roots shooting off out like this. Although I am tempted, because I know it won't affect the texture. I'm tempted to actually just decimate this, because it looked fine. That's 40% as many vertices. At least I believe it should be 40% of the original vertices. It still keeps its shape. Yeah, it's just window dressing, why not? I guess let me just make sure. Don't want anything greater than 4 sides. Yeah, I really like that Blender decimate function. Give it just a minute here, gotta drink a little water. Ah, delicious. Proud sponsor of our show, regular tap water. Enjoy a glass today. Just not half bad at all. So it'll probably be more like this. You'll be seeing it from down at this angle. Well, hopefully people aren't going to be trying to look too high up in the sky and give me a lot of crap about that being kind of just an unfinished tree. But you know, I did something. It's not like I just, ooh, though, real quick, do kind of want to, uh, hmm, okay, nice and easy here. Let's just see if we can grab that. I don't know why it keeps trying to scale it. Oh, I always do that when I do the window. I think I've got box select on, but I don't. There we go. Just flip it around. That's all I wanted to do. Now we've got, yeah, now that moss kind of looks like it's moving the correct direction in the gravity. Alright, enough messing around. We got our tree trunk. Shouldn't have too terrible many vertices. We'll just export that. Selected objects, mesh only. Tree trunk FBX. We'll just export that. Really, I mean, this was, I don't, I'm just in a no save mood today. I'm just exporting and not saving. I'm not even worried about it. Swinging wild today. Think I was playing Rocket League the other day, and somebody wants to be my friend. But I've been too lazy to do anything about it. Got way too much stuff going on. Real important stuff. There's the texture for the tree roots that I got. And this one does have a normal map applied. It's got a little bit of texture to the texture that I maybe could have blurred out a little bit more. It's a little bit crunchy, but honestly, you know, tree bark is a little bit crunchy. It's a little bit jagged. It's got edges. And, you know, for a operation that's no longer supported, I feel like it turned out pretty good, considering Photoshop doesn't actually support it anymore. But let's get into our environment stuff. Then find that FBX in my file explorer real quick here. Here we go. And I decided I didn't want the collision. Just go ahead and bring in that material all together. And let's have a look. Let's have a look at it. See, for window dressing, I feel so good about, and not that triangle counts and vertex counts are that huge of an issue on most modern PCs anymore, but since I do try to keep it, I try to keep the detail where it's needed. I don't like to have unnecessary extra details in places where nobody's really gonna even care. Don't want my tree bark to be shiny. No shiny tree bark. Yeah, not bad at all. No simple collision. Yep, very good. Go ahead and bring this in. Now I just want to make sure no collision and no shadows for this guy, because I just feel like there's no need to have that hit. To our GPU if it's not necessary. I do feel like they're a nice touch. mean, and they're really not that much of a... I don't know, I'm over here feeling guilty about having so much geometry that's not even, like, in the course. But it's really not that much geometry. I actually don't think it's going to give that much of a performance hit. Guess while I'm here, we'll go ahead and put one out by these tree roots. Let's see, do I have to bake lighting? Oh no, because no shadows, so I guess no baked lighting. Go to the racer from this home planet. Then go ahead and just to see stat FPS in the command window when the game is running will bring up your frames per second. Let's see up in the corner here. I'll probably eventually need to do something about the treetops up there so they look, you know, just see them kind of cut off at the top. But, I feel like they help. I feel like they do help. Put my controller right by my mic. I don't know if it's picking that up, but little clunks and clanks. Oh, actually, I want to turn off that. Turn off that FPS counter because you're just making sure that this extra detail wasn't gonna make the frame rate drop too crazy. Been getting some weird little lines in the screen when I've been moving around too. I can't tell if that's a frame rate issue. Might try bumping it up just a little bit to see if it maybe smooths out the screen when we're moving fast. One of the benefits of keeping the geometry relatively simple in a project is that you should be able to run at, you know, you can crank up the frame rate a little bit more when you're not rendering as complex of things. And I could also turn on occlusion culling, but since a lot of the objects in the game are just one draw call because I'm, you know, trying to use the same materials for lots of different objects in the scene. I kind of feel like I might be able to get away with not. Occlusion culling can be a, you know, an expensive operation to run. It can actually make you drop more frames than just leaving everything in the scene, depending on, you know, the size of the level and what all's going on with it. But hydrating dead air, but dead air for hydration. I don't know if anybody else ever thinks about, like, if you live on a farm, do your chickens think that Easter is like a fucked up holiday? Because you steal a bunch of their eggs and then you just like you cook them, usually hard boil them, and decorate them, but then you just hide them in the yard until they go rotten. Like, feel like they'd have to be watching that and just be like, this is the most fucked up ritual I think I've ever seen. Like, what is it? What's can almost understand just eating the eggs more than hiding them and letting them go rotten. Although I guess for anyone who's been around chickens for any extended amount of time, and I think we all know they don't think such deep thoughts. Not a very deep thinking creature. I guess we don't have to bake mesh or bake light maps, so I'm gonna just save all here and maybe go ahead and get started on that next, our final planned map. Although I do need to get a lot more, I'm gonna get some more stuff. Maybe some more pictures of like some ferns and shrubs to try and make some plant cards. Feel like the ground needs some more things. Honestly, in all of the levels, I could really improve that aspect of a lot of the environments. But I'd like to try and get a demo of this one up on itch so people can check it out and actually play it. And to do that, I feel like I need a full set of levels. Plus, I'm kind of having fun making this new, I think doing an actual forest environment without the city is going to turn out really cool for this one. And, you know, I've got the time to work on it right now and chat about the process, which I feel like I haven't been able to do so much. So, instead of putting it off, let's get right in. Let's dive on in. Let's get right into it. New look. Default, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of that. And go ahead and get this level blueprint set up like we did last time. Create all of our variables. Let's see, variables. Who's got the variables? Done this enough times now. I should be able to find them all, no problem. And I think I have. So let's go ahead and get just in case I decide to do another map, a bonus map. Go ahead and put that note on these still. Oh, that's right, I still gotta put in all the... I do want to make sure I get this saved though, just in case. Here we go. We want this one and set map 8 coming off of the true pin, then going into the delay and hooked up from the timer. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we need to go ahead and bring in those box triggers. Get them a little bit set up how I know I'm going to want them for the checkpoints. And duplicate. And then let's make sure we have the first one selected, because that way I know I want to start. Here, because this is the actual lap counter. These are going into the top, and top, like Sir Topham Hatt. Delete that one. And set up that checkpoint. These go into the top again, don't they? Yes. Top. And top. And we'll get rid of that. And let's do, yeah. There we go. And racer 1. Here we go. Get rid of that guy. And racer 2 start. And get rid of that guy. Now we should be all good. Yeah, there we go. And we got map 8. Map 8 and map 8. So save, high score save system should all be working. And I actually think we'll stop this video here. I'm probably going to go ahead and just keep going, so the next video should pretty much just pick up right where this leaves off. But hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one.